you're all doing well. We know we got people joining us here on live stream. We want to welcome you for joining us. We've got people that are still gathering in here live, and we're going to go ahead and get everything started for our evening.
All right, testing. Welcome, everyone. So, just by a show of hands, who's ready to have some fun tonight? Awesome. Well, you're in the right place. We have a little tradition here because I can't reach you all. Just turn to the person next to you, give them a pat on the back, and say, congratulations for being here. Welcome to Tribe Night tonight. This is the Limitless Tribe, and we're so excited tonight. We've got some really powerful content that we're going to be training on, some really cool breakthrough processes that you'll get to experience as well. And then tonight is also a night of connection and celebration, really being able to connect with your tribe and being able to really connect at a deep level. So in a moment, what we're going to do is give you an opportunity to stand up and introduce yourself to as many people as possible, just so you can connect with all of these amazing people around you. Before we do that, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge all of the people that are joining us at home, online, from across the country and across the world. Just want to thank you for being here with us today. And we invite you to share your name and where you're from in the chat bar below, so you guys can connect with each other. And you guys can interact throughout the event. And even though you might not be here with us live, our hearts are with you, and hopefully, this one tribe across the country can really feel connected. So everyone, will you go ahead and give these folks at home a huge round of applause? Awesome. And with that, just to kind of kick the evening off, just to open up our hearts and our minds to what we're going to be experiencing, I'm going to invite everyone to place all of your stuff on the ground right now. Go ahead and place all your stuff on the ground. And we're just going to crank up the energy a little bit right now. Once again, our energy is one of the keys for our creation. And oftentimes we live lives where we're living in a very unresourceful state. Where we're living in a state where we're less resourceful because of the energy, because of our mindset. And being limitless is all about experiencing the potential that we have. And in order to experience our full potential, it requires us to be in a powerful state. Would you agree?
Yes.
All right. So I'm actually going to take you through a quick exercise, and I was doing this with our Breakthrough Academy clients this morning. But I want to teach you how much control you have over your state and your ability to create the life that you want. And how oftentimes as unconscious reactors, as what? As unconscious reactors, we're constantly just reacting to whatever stimulus we have in our environment and however we happen to be feeling at the time. And we act because we act based off of this stimulus, and we believe that if we're sad, then we have to act a certain way. Or if we're depressed, we have to act a certain way. And if we're happy, we have to act a certain way. And we don't realize that we have control over our emotions. And so what I believe we have these things that I call success recipes. What are they called? A success recipe, right? There's a certain formula for creating a certain emotion. There's a certain formula for creating a certain result in your finances. There's a certain formula for creating a result in your body. And oftentimes when we're unconscious, we're not realizing all of the ingredients that we're putting into our life that are creating all of the results that we don't want. And I'm just going to take you through a really quick example of that right now, just so you can experience that, and just show you an example of a success recipe. And we're going to start with showing you an unresourceful recipe. So right now, I just want you to sit. And this is for everyone at home too. Sit as though you are totally depressed right now. Just sit in whatever state that you would be in if you were totally depressed. And I want you to think about what you would think about if you're depressed. Like when you are in your worst mood ever, like how do you sit? What are you thinking about? And just notice right now your recipe. And feel, how many of you are feeling like your energy draining right now? right? You guys are really good at this recipe. You guys are surprisingly gifted, right? And oftentimes we unconsciously go to the state and just check in with this recipe that you're running right now to create this emotional state of depression, right? Are you sitting tall and strong, or are you kind of hunched over or slouched? You're hunched over and slouched, right? Is your breathing deep and full, or is it shallow and light? Shallow and light. And notice your focus. Are you focusing on what's right, what's awesome in your life, or are you focusing on what's wrong? Right? Are you looking up, or are you looking down? Right? Just notice that this is the recipe. And what are the words that are associated with this emotional state? Blah. What other words go through your mind when you're running your emotional depression recipe? I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I'm bored. This is stupid. This sucks, right? I want some ice cream. So notice, like, we have these things, and Tony Robbins talks about these 3 different components that create our states. Number 1 is our physiology. Our what? Physiology. Our physiology. Our second is our focus. Our what? Focus. Our focus. And our third is the words that we speak. The what? The words that go through in our mind or in our heart. And at Limitless, we have a belief that we're constantly creating our future by the words that we speak and the words that we think. We're constantly in a space of creation, but as unconscious reactors, we're allowing our thoughts to continue to create the things that we don't like. So how many of you would like to change your state right now? How many of you guys are done being depressed, right? So right now, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to shift the energy, and I'm just going to have you focus. Right now, I just want you to sit as though you are totally confident, totally inspired, you're totally excited about your life, that you are on fire. And right now, I just want you to check in with your emotional recipe right now. Are you slouched over? Are you sitting tall and strong? Right? Are you breathing shallow, or are you breathing deep and full? Are you focusing on what's wrong or what's right? What's right. All right, everyone now on your feet, and we're going to crank it up a little bit more. We're going to crank up the energy a little bit more. And notice the success recipe when you focus on using your physiology in powerful ways. And right now, we're going to crank up the music a little bit. We're going to crank up the music a little bit. I just want you to move your body as though you are totally excited and totally inspired about your life. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Oh, we're going to see if you're ready. We're going to crank up the music. We're going to move our body in an inspiring way. And in a moment, I'm going to have you move around the room. I'm going to have you move around in this powerful state. I'm going to have you introduce yourself to as many people as possible and just connect with them as though you are totally on fire, totally inspired about your life. Ready? Go!
If you're back home, get connected with the people watching this with you. All right, take one more minute. Connect with your amazing tribe. And for those of you joining us online, type in the chat what you are most excited about in your life.
right, 30 more seconds. All right, everyone stop. Give the person next to you a high five and say, you are limitless. Okay, go ahead and have a seat. Awesome. So just by a show of hands for you, how many of you that feels way better than the depression recipe? Awesome. And the thing that I want you to take away from this is this idea that as limitless creators, you have the ability to create whatever it is that you want, and your emotions are one of the things that you can create. Oh yeah. All right, we're just gonna keep the music going the whole time. We're gonna rock this evening out. So tonight is going to be a night where you get to connect with this amazing tribe and to really open your mind. So I invite you right now in your mind's eye to just imagine that you're opening up your heart and you're opening up your mind and preparing yourself to receive some powerful information about what it means to live limitless. And right now I just want you to think, what does it mean to live limitless? And here's a little video to introduce you to the vision of what being limitless is.
You say you want a better life. You say you want more money, a better job, a better marriage, more intimacy, a better body, more health, a better life. But you have to do something different if you expect something different. 3 days can change your entire life. 3 days to discover your limits, and 3 days to break free, break through, and become limitless. I know what the world tells you, that you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you don't know how, that your income can't grow. Discover how wrong they are and how you can step through the looking glass into a world where your dreams can become inevitable. We tell our children the sky's the limit while you hit your head on your own ceiling. You have this one life right now. Do not repeat last year's results, last year's battles, last year's income. Stop creating more of what you don't want. Limitless is your opportunity to replace false and limiting beliefs with limitless possibility so you can claim the life you want. There is a blueprint to get everything you want: unconditional love, purpose, fulfillment, wealth, health, happiness. It's time to embrace your birthright.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet for the founder and creator of Limitless, Mr. Christopher Crowe!
Hey! Hello. Listen, you guys are limitless. Can I hear an I am limitless? Yes, you are. Welcome. Man, all you wonderful, beautiful people. Now, for those of you that are joining us and don't know what limitless is, I'm going to talk about that just for a few minutes. And then I'm going to bring up our first speaker that will bring up our next speaker. And then we're going to do some processing and we're going to introduce a new process tonight. Is anyone open to some experimentation? Wonderful. We had y'all sign waivers for that purposes. So we're going for no broken bones. We're going to bring some martial arts into the breakthrough arena tonight. And a few of you are going to get the opportunity to test your steel, the steel of your mind. So what really is limitless? I would like, before I share what I believe it is, I'd like to actually just get a couple of shares from some of those of you that went to this last Limitless just this last weekend and had an experience with us, or the one before. Do we have a couple of volunteers that are willing to do that? Stand up, Jeannie. Guys, give it up for Jeannie. And we got a little tradition here, so you go ahead and tell them your name.
Jeannie. So Catherine has been listening to me just go on and on and on about this 3-day event that I went to, and I drug her here, and she's like, Jeannie, I'm tired. And I said, I don't care. Get in the car. Jeannie, you don't understand. I don't care. Get in the car. And what I'm going to tell you is going to blow your mind, but I want you to realize that I've been on this journey for 3.5 years, and this was my final piece. It may be your first piece. I don't know. But as of Wednesday, I was writing speaking contracts for $500. As of Monday, I was writing speaking contracts for $10,000. With a year-long contract with the government for $100,000. I also lost 4.5 pounds in 2 days. I haven't weighed myself.
That's how rough the event is.
No, that's how freeing it is when you break through. I had a limiting belief that I couldn't be beautiful and successful. And I know where it came from. As soon Thursday morning, I set my butt in the chair, and within 30 minutes, we went through that. That limiting belief came up for me, and I went, well, that's just stupid, and took off from there. And I feel so blessed for all the mentors I've had, and especially for Chris and Gerald. And I could stand up here all night and go on and on and on about the breakthroughs I've had. You're going to start your own, and I'm so excited for you.
Wow, give it up for Jeannie. Wow, so awesome, so powerful. Thank you. Who else wants to share a breakthrough that they had from this last Limitless event? Coming over here, Christine.
Yes, Christine.
Hey, Christine.
So I am the personality type visionary that we had talked about at Limitless. And when you're someone who has vision, you have big dreams. And I have so many dreams, I didn't know which one to get started on. And so my limiting belief was that I couldn't do it yet, that I had to wait until one thing happened in order to do my dreams and to start. And I'm not waiting. So I have a similar experience to Jeannie's. Is I work at Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and I have always wanted to be a part of their cause innovation team, is where they innovate and brainstorm new ideas on how to fundraise for children's hospitals. I presented to them my idea. I went right down into the office, no barriers. They welcomed me in, and I shared my idea, and they love it, and we're going forward.
Wow, so awesome. So amazing, so amazing. We got one more. Is anyone else willing to share? All right over here. Thank you.
I'm Hey Lala. Hey Lala. Okay, that worked, I guess. Well, to me, Limitless is a movement. I have, like Jeannie, I've been on a journey, and I've been searching for people who wanted a limitless life. And I didn't know where to go to. I've paid thousands of dollars for mentors that were great, but they were just so far away that I felt like I couldn't reach them. And so right before I came to Limitless, I actually wasn't going to come. My husband made me come. And when I got there, I was like, these people are crazy. I mean, obviously I look crazy. So, but for me to say that is kind of crazy. But as the day went on, there were so many things that came up. there were so many limiting beliefs that I didn't know that I had until I really grounded and thought about it and really recognized what I was hiding for myself, basically. And so learning these principles have been life-changing. I feel like a whole new person, but I feel like I met an old friend, like someone I knew a long time ago, and I'm finally like meeting myself again. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. But it's been amazing, like seeing the success that I've had just within the last 3 days. I've had people calling me like all over the place wanting to work with me, and I'm like, how'd you get my number? And so it's been groundbreaking for me, and I love it. Your life will change tonight, I promise.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Limitless is grounded with this cornerstone notion that our world is made up of our beliefs. Now, I'm not just talking about your faith of what you believe in. I'm talking about all the beliefs that we don't really consciously know that we have. Because by the time we became adults, we more or less made every life decision. Just about every decision for you was made up in childhood. Which, have you ever wondered why, like, you've set a goal and then you tried and you failed and then you tried it again and you set a goal and you tried and you fail, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It's like, man, I need to like make some progress here. How many of you have ever felt that way before? Put your hands up. Yeah. Do you know why? Like, you keep hitting the same barrier, the same ceiling, why we keep hitting the same limits? That's because we've made all of these decisions early on in life, and children do not always make really good decisions. Children have the belief that they can be stupid. They have the idea that they could be dumb or unintelligent. They can create these notions and accept these ideas that they're ugly or not pretty or that they're not safe. We observe things in childhood about finances, and so we make all sorts of decisions subconsciously about how we feel about money, how much we can have, the things we should have. I mean, how many times as a child were you just told, we don't have money for that? And that's a parent's kind way of saying no and trying to give some kind of reason for it. So children get this idea that there's this idea of fear and scarcity and not enough, and there's never going to be enough. We step into adulthood, and on the one hand, we're like eager to live life, and so we go for it. We get excited, and it doesn't take too long before we start feeling out all the sides and corners of the box and how tall, and we try to break free, and we stay in that box, and we find that in life, very few people ever really discover how to break through. Limitless is founded on an idea that you can have it all. Everyone say, I can have it all. Now, man, is there anyone in this room that's just a little triggered by saying such a strange, weird thing? Like, really? Go ahead, put your hand up and own it a little bit. It's like, that is such a weird thing to say. Well, guess what? We're introducing some new ideas to you. For example, I'm going to tell you right now, I stand before you as a believer that you can have all your financial needs met for your goals and dreams, for the masterpiece life that you want to live. Now, that is coming from someone that has gone beyond multi-millionaire, that started in debt, deep up to their eyeballs, and in a place of depression and pain when it came to money. Okay? I also believe that you can have like the most epic and amazing relationships. Like there's a way to harness this ability to have a 10 out of 10 relationship with someone that you really love and care about. Like how many of you would like to have like a 10 out of 10 relationship with the people you care about? Man, who does not want that? Of course we want that. Except we limit ourselves and say, but can I really have the money? Can I really know who I am and what my purpose is and stand in my power? Is it possible for me to take my own stage in life and share the gift that I've been given? And yet, think of how many of us go to one of the wealthiest places on the planet. Where is the wealthiest place on the planet? It's not China. It's not Dubai. It's not America. Wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard. That's where people die with their dreams in them. That's where things that could have been invented didn't. That's the place of the unsung song. That's the place where all the could-have-beens never manifested. Face it, we live in a world of limits. And you either accept your limits that have presented themselves, but how many of you here would really like to know how to break free? How many of you would like to know how to break free and move beyond? I'm talking about limitless power, limitless connection, limitless finance and wealth, limitless health. How many of you want to take your health problems that the doctors say are permanent and go for full-on reversal? Like, how many of you want to have ways of creating that healing and that health in your mind, right? It sounds pretty amazing. And if you get a chance to come to our 3-day event, you are going to witness a lot of people in this place of miracle. We've had a chance to hear from just a few of them here. In fact, here we have Amber and Jason Westover. You went to our first Limitless like 40 days ago. And I think when you came to Limitless, you had $15 to your name. Do I have that about right?
That's about right. We had $15 in our bank account, and my wallet was empty.
And where were you at on your mortgage payments?
We were about 5 months behind on our mortgage, and we were about 9 months, 8 months behind on all of our credit card debt.
You go to Limitless, and at Limitless we do some crazy stuff. We have them swim in a kiddie bath filled with $50,000 of actual cash. And what happened inside of 30 days?
Inside of 30 days, I found somebody to join up with us and venture with us who gave $30,000 to us to start a business. So, and in addition to that, random money just keeps coming in from odds and ends. We made an additional $3,000 to that. I had another $300 check in our mail today.
Guys, give it up for Jason and Amber. So powerful. So powerful. If I were to give you a really short, quick, concise concept of what we're really doing at Limitless before I bring up our first guest, imagine for the moment that your brain, this eye right here, is exactly what Apple is trying to copy with its iPhone. And they're just releasing a brand new iPhone, aren't they? And every time they release a new iPhone, the tech, does it get better? It does, and they're trying to mimic something. They're trying to mimic the fact that your human eye can take in 2 billion bits of information per second. But our conscious mind can only process 2,000 of those bits. Less than a drop in the whole ocean. So if that's all you can process, then what are you seeing? You see through the lens of your limits. So what if it were possible to actually go into the mind and evaluate what was broken, not serving, hurting, sabotaging, creating the byproduct of anger or frustration or depression or sadness? What if there was a way to neurologically be your own brain surgeon, to isolate all of that and start swapping all of those limiting beliefs for limitless? How many of you would be interested in learning how to do that? I'll tell you right now, it's powerful and it's something that'll change your life. We're going to get a chance to do some breakthrough. Breakthrough is the cornerstone of what we do. So you're actually going to witness some of that process here this evening. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and introduce our first speakers of the evening. This woman that we're about to bring up here at Limitless is someone that we refer to as one of our angels. Okay? Now, angels are the certified people at Limitless that have the ability to actually do this breakthrough work, this work of breakthrough, to actually isolate the beliefs and ideas that aren't serving us and actually swap them out. So we've got one of our practitioners here this evening. Her name is Trisha Dixon. She's driven 3 hours to be here with us this evening. She'll be actually introducing and bringing up her husband, Craig. I've known them for years. They're absolutely wonderful people. We are fortunate here at Limitless to associate with them. I will tell you that Trish and Craig were beautiful servants this last week at Limitless for 3 days. Craig is a team leader. Did anyone here have Craig as a team leader? Hey, yeah, absolutely. We hear some shout outs. And then how many of you had a chance to maybe do a session with Trisha and want to have that opportunity? Good, several hands in here. Well, we've got an opportunity tonight for her to give us some information on connection. We live in a world where the real wealth of the world is our connections, the people that we know, and the depth of those connections. And so she and Craig are going to be giving us some great practical content about that, and then we're going to proceed to some breakthrough. With that, Please help me welcome up very warmly. On your feet, come on. Drove 3 hours to be here, Miss Trisha Dixon!
Hello, everyone out there. I love the Limitless family. You guys are amazing. And I love the Limitless principles that have made such a big difference in my own personal family, because my family is awesome. I say that unapologetically. Can we all be creating amazingly awesome families? Can we all do that? Yeah. Absolutely, definitely. Now, I only have 3 children, but each one of those children represents each of the different personality types that are different from mine in a very big way. So this has been the perfect school for me. Now, prior to mentoring, I did what many loving, well-intended parents do. I took these cute little humans and I tried to mold them to be more like me. Bless my heart. But at the end of the day, I realized that the message that I was actually sending them was that they were not good enough. I was telling them that to just be them was not enough. A lot of you had the opportunity to see my oldest daughter, Danielle, up on stage at Limitless last weekend. I was not in the room. I was doing an angel session. That was probably a good thing. But I hear that she was invited to come up on stage because the personality type results showed that she was the most warrior of all the warriors in the room. This did not surprise me. I also learned that my husband Craig tested as the second most warrior of all the warriors in the room, and that didn't surprise me either. Can you imagine just for a moment what it's like to be me living with these 2 individuals? It's fun. All right, Danielle's warrior personality, unchanneled, used to show up as very aggressive and violent. She did not like herself at all because she was expressing herself in a destructive way. Now she knows her purpose and she's able to use these God-given qualities to make a difference in her school, church, community, and in our home. Some of you may have also had the opportunity to meet my youngest, Ben. We found out that he is a very extreme healer. And prior to this, he really showed up in ways that might have looked like too sensitive, especially for a boy. And he wasn't whiny or even shy, but he really struggled with feeling purpose to his day, to the point where most evenings he went to bed feeling very sad, very depressed and lonely, even though we were all just right there. He often cried himself to sleep. But now, he knows that he just needs to connect with people, and he looks for ways to serve others. And when he does this, he feels like his life is so much more meaningful, and he goes to bed now with a smile on his face. My middle child, Natalie, was not at the event, but she is our extreme visionary who cannot sit still. Anyone relate to this? Okay, I think we spent her childhood trying to contain that, unfortunately, because now we see how incredibly talented she is. She is brilliant, just like all of you are in your own unique way, right? I know that everyone here on earth is here for a divine mission that only you can do the way that you would do it. There will never be another you. If you ever thought about that, there will never be another you. How many of you here are starting to discover or have discovered what your true purpose is? Do you know what your true purpose is? Are you starting to figure out what that is? Let's take a moment, and I want you to turn to your partner and tell them, let's share, what is your purpose? Or at least one of your purposes. Take a minute. Okay, awesome. You know what I love about that? Listen to all the purposes that are in here collectively. Are we not an amazing group? This is incredible. Yeah. Now, can we fulfill our purpose without others? No. No way. You can't name me a single purpose that does not in some shape or form need other people. And how many of you know that your purpose is huge? I mean huge, yeah? Your purpose is huge. And the greater your purpose is, the larger your circle of influence is going to have to be to make that kind of impact that you know you need to make. Your purpose is your business. Now, whether that's literally your business, is a literal business or not, we must be able to sell our vision, to be able to enlist others to help our cause move forward. We have to have the ability to find and gather our tribe, to build and lead teams. Here at Limitless, we talk about the 4 personality types that I referred to earlier. And within each one of these types, there are some awesome, amazing strengths that come along with them that you will see show up in unique ways in your life. But there are also challenges. And when these challenges are left to the unconscious mind or just accepted without question, we can create huge barriers between us and the ability to really connect with, influence, and ultimately serve others. But are we victims to our personality type? Yes. No, no way. So, glad you said that. Because we are going to now invite my husband Craig up to help us learn a little bit more about why that's not so. So would everyone help me welcome up?
Love you.
Here, I'll take that. Sit down. Thank you. All right. That was perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. No. It's great to be with all of you tonight. It's really an honor after the amazing weekend we all had together. And I want to thank you for opening your hearts and your lives to Tricia and me and to our children. Again, we were very, very deeply touched. If you were with us this weekend, you noticed I got a haircut. You noticed a little bit? So I went in today, and the hairstylist starts cutting my hair, and she goes, "What are you doing tonight?" So I started telling her, "Well, I'm going to my tribe tonight, and we're going to talk." So, what do you mean your tribe? So we mentor. And we have some incredible leaders. And tonight they asked me to contribute a little bit, and I figured it's time for me to stretch and step up. She goes, "Well, what are you going to talk about?" I said, "Well, that's a good question. We're going to talk about the personality types. And we're going to go into a little depth and hopefully give them some valuable tools, that will serve them for the rest of their lives." And she was like, "Well, tell me more. I've never heard about this personality stuff." So I think she just kept asking questions and talking. She forgot she was cutting my hair because it's almost all gone. Because I have not had it. I mean, I kind of look like Gerald Rogers now a little bit, with the short hair here. Absolutely, very handsome man. So the first time I saw this, I started busting up laughing because I was like, I know 10 people that need to see this. The only consistent feature in all of your dissatisfying relationships is you. I thought it was so funny. And then I made a big mistake. I read a book. And this book wasn't just any book. It's a book that's published in the millions across the globe. And it had some words that took root in my brain and have not let go. Who knows who this man is? Stephen R. Covey, an incredible man, a gentle giant who's no longer with us, but has left us a great legacy, hasn't he? Yeah. Some of these words were these I want to share with you tonight. He said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. Right? In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. We're not victims, are we? In those choices lie our growth and our happiness. Powerful words. Would you agree? Yeah, they would not let me go. I could no longer play the victim card in my life. I was like, oh, why did I read that? Because now I got to live with that. I can't go around blaming everybody for my problems because I have choice. But then I realized, I was like, well, wait a minute. Isn't there just one way to do everything? Well, there's one way to brush your teeth, one way to get up in the morning, one way to do your homework, one way to date, one way to look at money, one way to spend your money, right? One way to clean your home, one way to react to people when they yell at you, one way to drive on the road. Isn't there just one way? Well, that was my way. So if he says that there are choices, then I had to figure this thing out. Well, what other options are there? What other choices are out there? See, I was so, as Tricia said, I got this warrior mindset. I've just got this thick skull where I think everybody should just do things my way and get out of the way. Beautiful man. I love him. I thank him forever for those words. Let's talk about the brain for a minute. Well, let me back up for a minute. I want you all to think about your most crucial relationships in your life. Okay? Think about maybe a spouse, some children, maybe a business partner. I want you to pick out one person. So when we go through this tonight, you can think about that one individual. Now, were there days with this individual that you're like magnets? You're just drawn to each other. Everything is harmonizing. You're killing it together. Everything's fun and light. And then the magnet flips. And you start to repel. It seems like everything they're doing is sabotaging you, and it's driving you crazy. Does anybody relate to what I'm talking about here? Now, these are the most crucial people in our lives. Why is this happening? I used to do it all the time. I still do it. When I get triggered, I need to be careful because if I don't, I just go down this path where I flip the magnet and I push people away. Okay? Would it be valuable for you to learn a principle tonight that would put you at choice, that would help you understand not only what kind of person you are, but why you make the choices you make? Why do you have those preferences? And why does your partner or your child or your spouse have the preferences they do? Wouldn't you agree with me that sometimes you attract people into your life because they're different than you? And then what do? We push them away because of irreconcilable differences? Right? It's a magnet. I call it the magnet principle. Okay, let's get to the brain. So when we talk about decision making, what we're going to try and uncover tonight are those the two areas or the things that help lead us to decision making. But to understand that, we need to talk about the brain for a minute. So we have three main parts of the brain that I just want to focus on. So the upper part is your neocortex. This is your high level of thinking. Okay, that's where that's done. In the middle is the limbic system. Okay, the limbic is where you store your emotions and you process those. Now, at the base of your brain, I want everybody to take their hand and feel back here. What are you guys doing? You can't feel your brain. Put your hands down. But I appreciate you following along. Okay, what is that called? Anybody know what that's called back there? Oh, well, you're getting way too technical, Matt. Jeez. Okay, we call it the brain stem, right? Some refer to it as the old brain or the lizard brain. What is its job? Anybody? What's that, Marianne? To keep us from getting eaten by a bear. I love it, yes. She said to keep us from getting eaten by a bear. The brain stem's function is to keep you alive. Exactly right. She nailed it. Okay, keep you alive. So here's a funny thing. How many of you think your brainstem activated when you walked into this room tonight? It's kind of like a cage, right? A lot of people you don't know. Maybe some friend dragged you here. And your brainstem starts firing off all these messages. Danger, danger. Are you really in danger? No, because the brainstem is obsessed, you guys, with risk. It's obsessed with danger. So if there's no real danger, it's got to go find it. And so you walk into this room and your heart starts doing what? Being a little faster. Why? Because it wants to redirect the blood from your brain and your eyes to your muscles. Well, that's not good because then you stop doing your thinking, right? But why does the blood go to the muscles? So you can run away from the bear, right? But we don't do that anymore. So again, the neocortex sometimes sabotages us to make us react in ways where we're not truly at choice and we're not really at danger. Now, the part of what we're trying to do at Limitless, and certainly what Chris Crone and Gerald have done for Tricia and me through the last 2 years of mentoring that we've done, is they've elevated our thinking to challenge these thoughts, to challenge these impulses, to say, wait a minute, I've got a choice here. Just by knowing that you have other options? Would you say that kind of moves you from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional? Yeah, yeah. What if you were to see yourself in a situation and kind of have an out-of-body experience and see yourself from above? Wouldn't you be kind of a multi-dimensional experience at that point? Well, that's what we're talking about. What if you could step out of yourself for a minute and observe with some objectivity instead of being so subjective where we got these tunnel vision goggles on us? And of course, I hope and I invite everyone here to connect to their divine creator and elevate things to a 4th dimension, where you're not only seeking out your will, but of course the will of everyone, he who has created us. And that's what I call the 4th dimension. But today we're going to back up because we have to have a starting point. We have to understand where we are today to get where we want to go. Be, I like it. Both of them will work. Okay. So research shows that actually I made that statistic up. But the point is that most of us, I shouldn't even said that. You would have believed me, wouldn't you have? Yeah, you would have. But most of our daily decision making is done in this space, the brainstem, where we're just kind of reacting. You know, it's like, oh, danger, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, I'm triggered over here. And we're just kind of moving around and we're doing things our way. And then we're forcing ourselves on others sometimes, or we're playing the doormat, one way or the other. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun, does it? Okay, so let's do a little quick history lesson. 4 quadrants, 4 personality types. You've probably heard them before, you've seen them before. How many of you were with us this weekend and got typed? Okay, cool. So my hairstylist today, I typed her in with 2 questions. And she was just like, because I started describing her. I said, so are you having these kind of problems? Yes, And so we kind of went through it because it's really simple, you guys. So tonight, how would you like to be the experts? Yeah. Okay, everyone wants to be an expert, say, let's go. Okay, let's go, let's do this. Okay, so the first guy that I could dig up is Hippocrates. And he came up with this 4 system in terms of science and how the body's made. It doesn't really jive with me. I don't think he would have sold a lot of books calling people phlegmatics. I don't know. You're phlegmy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, but so Aristotle took it to another level and he used the elements. You guys familiar with this? Fire and earth, and you're like, oh, Chris, I'm sky, I'm big. So we have all these types that are more elemental. Well, a guy named Carl Jung, way back about a little over 100 years ago, said, well, wait a minute, maybe we can make this a little more scientific, right? So he created some labels called thinking, and the intuitive, the feeler, and the sensitive, okay? Now, a mother and daughter team, Myers and Briggs, teamed up to make this even more scientific, and they created a system and a test. How many of you applied for a job in a corporate company where they made you take this long personality evaluation? Okay, it's probably called the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. And you got these 4 letters spit out at you. You're like, wait a minute, that's not me. I'm not an ENTP. What does that mean, Not a whole lot of meaning there, but it is to them because in HR, they're trying to determine what you have an aptitude for. How do you like to work? How do you like to function? How do you get along with other people? How do you perform under stress? Could that be valuable information for an employer? Could be valuable information for you. Yeah. So how about we become as smart as them? Sound good? Let's keep going. Hartman Color Code, born right here in Utah. How many of you are familiar with this book? Yeah, okay. So colors, the red, blue, white, and yellow. How many of you women love Carol Tuttle? I hate Carol Tuttle. Because she sells clothes. And my wife and my daughters decided that not only do you have to discover your types, but you have to dress your type. And Trisha's like, we got to change everything. Who's been to her store? Does everybody know where it is? Yeah, it's just past Thanksgiving Point, right? On your way up north. We live in Vernal. We've been there like 5 times. Okay, guys? So Carol Tuttle, though, she's done some excellent work in terms of not just typing, but also The Child Whisperer, a very good book about how to work with your children. My personal favorite is called the Personality Compass, simply for 2 main reasons. One, it's based on a compass. We all get a compass, right? 4 main points. Second, and it provides context. For example, if you have the color system, you can learn the labels, but you have to memorize it, right? Because what's the opposite of red? It's white, okay? What's the opposite of north? South. Easy. Get me? Yeah, so there's context. We understand opposites and how they're adjacent. So I like that about the compass. Second, is that you can associate them with some cultures that we have kind of stereotypes in terms of some cultural trends. For example, north, I think the northern Vikings. Okay, the warrior spirit. Okay, east, it's very easy to think of Eastern Asians, where they're very meticulous and detail-oriented. South, you think of the Southerners, or maybe even, I'm half Mexican, so Latinos, where they just put people first. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then, of course, the West, I like to think the American spirit. So you can kind of attach something to something we already know and understand. So that's why I like that system. Either way, I have a big question for you guys. Okay, and this is what I call the personality principle. If you learn this principle, like all principles, you become an expert. That's what I love about principles. You don't have to memorize some long book. If you understand the why of something, you're now the guru. You're the expert. When I uncovered this, it was very simple. Personality typing became a snap. Okay. What is the thing in common among all those slides I just showed you? 4. Good. Why 4? Why were there 4? What creates 4? What? Lines. There are 2 lines. What are those lines? Wouldn't it be interesting to know what those lines represent? Wouldn't that be the principle that links them all together? Right, so what are these 2 lines? So this is what I call the personality principle. Your brain is always on the hunt to discover and calculate risk. Well, there has to be a formula. And the brainstem says risk is people times time. Okay, when it takes in those 2 factors of people and time, and this is consistent among all those systems you just saw, that's how the brain calculates risk. And so let's take it a step further with what we already know and learned from this weekend. So we know the Norse are the warrior spirit. Okay, look at what they have in terms of the time axis here. By the word, I had to look up how you say axis in plural. I had to look that up. I thought it was axes. It's axes. Axes. But I was like, if I say that, everybody's just going to say, you're ignorant, man. So it's axes. Okay, it's axes, but I'll probably say axes. So if you look at the 2 axes, and one of them is time, you'll see that it's 2 different extensions are, of course, fast and slow. You might look at it as time you might replace that with the word energy. And some of you are very familiar with energy. High energy, low energy. High frequency, low frequency. You got me? Fast, slow. Same thing, okay? You with me? Good. The line of people is pretty easy to understand. Extrovert versus introvert, right? Okay, when we bring these together, your brainstem has a preference, okay, that says I am safest when you bring these 2 things together. And that's what creates your personality. Isn't that simple? Yeah. So, for example, a north and a west, what do they have in common? They're fast, high energy, action. That's what they care about most. But the north and the west are different, right? Because the west tend to be more extroverted and the north tends to be more introverted. What do you think that means for a north? Tell me about a warrior. Can you see how being an introverted and tying that to a warrior makes sense? How does that make sense? What do you think a north is like knowing that they're introverted? Inner struggle, good. What else? They don't care what you think. Now I'm learning to care what people think. It's Tricia had to tell everybody I was a warrior. Yes. Lone wolf, yeah, loner, yeah, good. In the back or in the middle? Yeah. Yeah. See, look, you guys are the experts already. Right? Isn't that cool? You know that they're results and fast-oriented, but they're not going to let people get in their way. Very simple, right? Now, how many of you are indecisive? Raise your hand. Oh, man, that was awesome. Wait, okay. It's a trick question, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so those of you that are on the low frequency, that question's for you. Okay, but it's interesting because half of you kind of did this for one reason and other of you kind of did that for another. So let's talk about that because you guys are the experts. So a south, why would a healer that is extrovert and slow kind of hesitate to raise their hand first? Yes. Was there something else? Yes. A little bit of all. Yeah, they don't want to impose. They want to see if everybody else is raising their hand. They don't want to be the only one raising their hand, You know, a warrior doesn't care. You just, that's me, right? Okay. What about the East, though? The oracles. Why aren't they raising their hand right away? Because they're like, They're like, Dixon, what do you mean indecisive? That's a broad term. I need more information. I mean, you got to be precise here, man. I mean, I'm sometimes indecisive, but sometimes not. If I read the whole brochure and the contract, then I'm decisive, right? And so you guys get the point that, we do some common things, but sometimes for different reasons. You guys, all this is a map. Aren't maps cool? My little brother Seth, he loved maps. He would take the maps into the bathroom with him and stay in there for like 2 hours. Today's a geography professor at a university and writes for National Geographic. So maps have changed his life, right? He is awesome, okay? Maps are powerful because they're like principles. Once you see a map, well, help me out here. Let's write a few benefits about a map, okay? What are some of the benefits of a map? And before we answer that, imagine our world with no maps today. You wake up, there are no maps. You don't know where anything is. You've got to get somewhere. You can't check your phone. You can't pull out an atlas. Would that be a scary world? Yeah. Except for the visionaries, yeah. Yeah, okay. So maps, what do maps do for us? Okay. I'm good, Gerald, thank you. So, wow, that was a lot at first. I'm not good at this. Okay, what was it? One at a time. Paul. Orientation, thank you. Love it. We used the word context earlier, right? Context is so valuable because once you know where something relates to another thing, that gives you orientation. What else? Distance, thank you. Yes. I love it. Let's stop there because it also means that if you know where your starting point is, then you can make out a plan, right? Maps are powerful that way. Well, this is a map. Okay, this is your opportunity to say, you know what? I've got some context. I know where I am, and I know where I can go. I don't want you to use this as an excuse. Okay, some people say, well, that's just the way I am, right? That's not what this tribe is all about, is it, you guys? No, this tribe is about growth. It's about choices, So we're going to whip through these pretty fast because I'm running out of time, okay? The North personality. So you guys are the gurus. What are some of the skills of the North? Get things done. Beautiful. What else? Leader. Good. Decisive. Yes. Okay. Here's some others. They're hard workers. They're factual. They can take risks. They can be pretty dependable because they're going to get the job done, right? Some of their challenges are interesting. Remember the flip side of that magnet? This is where it manifests itself. It can be stubborn, bossy, harsh, and sensitive, okay? So, you might be in a relationship where you're attracted to a warrior's assertiveness. What else comes with assertiveness? A little stubbornness, right? A little insensitivity because they get things done. Okay. What are their wants and needs? Well, they want to look smart, to be right, to be respected. They don't need approval by the masses, just by a few. They want to be productive. They want to please self. How do you think Nords see money? How do they view money? Yeah, okay, there's our warrior. She's bold. Good? They deserve it. They earned it, right? Okay, so this is their relationship with money, and I want you guys to pay attention because all four have a different relationship to money. Is that important information? Yeah. Power and success. Okay. Now, don't think this is an evil thing, okay? Because they have the ability to do good things with that. But ultimately, they see it as a manifest, as evidence that they're accomplishing their goals, okay? How do they define themselves? By what I've accomplished. Okay, so Norse warriors, stand up for a minute. I want you to repeat after me the motto on the screen. Come on, stand. Don't be bashful. You're a warrior. Okay? I want you to go ahead and flex a muscle and read after me. I'll get it done. That's right. Thank you very much. Let's hear it up for the warriors. Give it up. Okay. Moving quickly here. The East, the oracles. Okay, so we know that they are slow introverts, remember? So again, you guys don't have to memorize these lists. You can figure it out on your own now. They're slow introverts, right? Low frequency. So their skills, they're focused, thorough, because they're slow. They're taking their time. They're accurate. They have good judgment. They're intelligent. Guys, we live in the East world. What age is it? It's the information age. They invented it. Okay? That's why they rule the world today. Okay? This is their world. Now, their challenges, they can be indecisive, we talked about earlier, but for different reasons, right? They want all the information first. They can be perfectionistic. They never like to guess. They don't like to, just leap into something. They want to evaluate. Easts are often misunderstood. You guys, when my oracle wife got paired up with my mom, who is a West visionary, who's super expressive, Latina, and she's just big in her emotions. She goes up to my wife and just starts going off about something. I don't know what it is. And Trisha the whole time is like this. My mom comes up to me later, she's like, Trisha's mad at me about something, And I used to believe her. I don't anymore. I don't get in between anymore because now I figure they can figure it out. But back then I was like, so I go up to Trisha, it's like, what's going on? And she's like, well, your mom just said some stuff that I had to think about. East, you guys are not expressive. So don't judge them based on their expressions, because what are they doing while you're talking? They're processing, right? They're computing, they're calculating. Give them some time. Cut them a break. Their wants and needs, of course, truth with a capital T is very important to the East. Okay? To be understood, to be appreciated, security. Their relationship with money is, of course, makes sense, right? Security. They define themselves by what I'm not. I think this is funny. They're the most self-aware out of everybody because they know that what they don't like, and I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't do that, I don't do that. Okay? It's pretty cool. Okay, East, stand up. And I want you to hold out your magnifying glass and say, I need the facts. I need the facts. Thank you. Sit down. Appreciate it. Give him a hand. A few more minutes. Okay, we're getting there. The South. Okay, this is the healer. Love the healers, you guys. This is my opposite. So this is something that I've worked very hard to comprehend and involve in my thinking more, because they're a slow extrovert. Okay? And so my being a fast introvert makes it a little tricky. Okay? The Souths are wonderful people. They're nurturers, they're peacemakers, they're great teammates. You guys understand all this because you get the map. So their challenges. They can also be, of course, indecisive, but impractical to what? Other-oriented. Right? Yeah, they please. They often end up being the doormat. Right. Okay, they're martyrs. Are they doing anybody any favors by that? Are you Souths doing any favors by doing that? No, you are not. So this is a challenge that you have, that you need to face. Your wants and needs are simply to feel good inside, to be free of conflict. You want peace. But sometimes it's not so easy in interpersonal relationships, and you have to stretch. How do they see money? Makes sense, right? It's a tool. So will bless others. Isn't that beautiful? I love Souths. They define themselves by their relationships. So Souths, everybody stand up. I want you to hold out your hands and say, what do you need? Thank you. Give them a hand. All right, and finally in conclusion, the West. All right. Yeah, there they are. Yep. Life of the party right there. Why? Why are they so fun? Because they're extroverts and fast. They're high energy. They can't sit still, like Trisha was asking earlier. So they're leaders. They're natural socializers. They're the life of the party. They make things happen. They're good delegators. Frankly, they have to be good delegators to survive. But their challenges, of course, on the flip side is they can be pushy and restless and distracted. Why do we put flaky there? Is it because of lack of intelligence? No, why? That's good, except you don't always do that, because sometimes you say yes to everything. Right? You're like, I can do it all. In fact, I'm all for those quadrants. Anyway, I like to have fun with West. Now, frankly, I'm trying to embrace, this is my sub nature, and I'm trying to embrace this side of myself more, because I find I'm happier when I'm West. And I make myself think that I have to be introvert, and I don't. Wants and needs, of course, to look good, to be noticed, to be praised. Just have fun. They want to have fun. They like color, they like fun, they like adventure. They're a lot of fun. So how do you think they see money? Fun. What else? Buy things, sure. Money is opportunity, right? Freedom. They love freedom. Don't shackle them down, man. They do not want to get tied down. They love their freedom. They define themselves by what I can do, which is just about anything, because they believe, unlike the East, remember the East defines themselves by what they are not? Opposite. You see that? Opposite. Because they consider themselves very flexible. Very flexible. Okay, Wes, let's go. Own it. Stand up and say, let's do it. Follow me. All right. Has this been helpful to you guys? Interesting? I hope so. It has been a blessing to me. So I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very simple principle. I hope you'll think about it. I encourage you all to go in the next 24 hours and teach it to someone. Stephen Covey says if you can teach a principle to someone within 24 hours, you learn it. It's not just enough to write it down. You need to teach it to somebody else. So I encourage you to share it with someone else. We're going to go ahead and ask Tricia, my lovely angel, to come on up. All right. By the way, Chris calls her his angel, but I got dibs. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to Tricia.
Thank you so much. All right. So isn't this awesome? Can you imagine? This was, of course, just scratching the surface. We can go into that and really dig into what might be some of the beliefs that would come up for each one of these different personality types, right? That would maybe limit our ability to influence others or to have connections or any of these wonderful things, right? And so I just encourage all of you that if you have gotten maybe a little bit out of this tonight, can you imagine what 3 full days of this would be like? It's incredible. It is so, so powerful. And right now, I would like to bring back up who's been my mentor for the last 2 years, who has helped me really gain the confidence and peace so that I can actually stand up in a room full of people like this. Would everyone please stand up on your feet? I want to hear you declare boldly, I am limitless.
I am limitless.
And let's welcome up Mr. Chris Crone.
Woo! Thank you guys. Thanks, guys. All right, let's go. You're limitless. Let's go.
Wow, we're so blessed and fortunate to work with such amazing and talented people. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you did get some great value out of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk about breakthrough. And years and years ago, I'm on my journey of breakthrough. I'm working with my coaches. I'm working through my mentors. And I get the opportunity to, when I work with my mentors, I release my limits within 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I came across one I did not want to release. And my coach asked me, what's coming up for you? And I said, well, when I was 15, I wanted to do martial arts. And my dad wouldn't let me. And she said, great, well, let's do the work. I said, no. You ever feel like that? No, I actually don't feel like doing the work in 10 minutes. I actually want to do martial arts. I actually want that 15-year-old to walk into the studio. And so you know what? I found myself a private triple black belt instructor, and I started taking these one-on-one courses with him, and I started meeting, and as a 30-something-year-old, I started taking martial arts. And I kid you not, when I would show up at the dojo, I showed up as a 15-year-old. Now, by the way, when I was 15, do you know what was really hot on TV in my generation? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Come on. I was Donatello. Who are my Donatellos out there? Who are my Leonardos? My Michelangelos? My Raphaels? That's my color code system. So, and I'm going to tell you something, this isn't even bonus material, this is just pure stupid. I took my mom's longest knife as like a 14-year-old or whatever, and I want to impress my younger sister, so I take the knife and I start swinging around like it's this big sword, and I'm like, na na na, king. I have a scar that big in my thigh, I kid you not, true story. Right, Glenn? She can verify. If you're going to Hawaii with me and Gerald in a couple of months, I don't know if you'll still see that scar. It's not that kind of party. Maybe it is. So anyway, I start showing up to do my Taekwondo, and I'm loving it, and I'm having fun, and my 15-year-old cannot get enough of this. And I'm thinking, this is so cool that I have this experience. I could have eliminated this limiting belief in 10 minutes, and nearly 3 years later, I came to a point where my 15-year-old did not show up in the morning. He didn't wake up, and I had like no desire to be there with my sensei to go through this process. And that ended my journey. I ended as a red belt right before black belt. So I started getting into the mastery level, and I want to tell you that a couple of things really mentally kicked my butt. The first one was when I got into the advanced ranks, and we start doing the kind of moves I'm like, dude, no, those are the moves that they do like in the really cool Kung Fu movies. And it was when my instructor turned to me and he said, okay, Chris, you have mastered the back kick. Now it's time to learn how to do a jumping, spinning back kick. And I said, all at the same time? He's like, it's simple. You jump, you rotate 360 degrees in the air, you launch your foot out, you kick your target, you finish your rotation, you land. I'm like, this is starting to get advanced. He says, hey, we'll break it down the way we always do. So he took me through a visualization. I closed my eyes. He says, okay, I want you to go ahead and imagine yourself. You're in the proper fighting stance, centered body position, and then you leap off of the ground as you begin your rotation, and as you come to the back, your back leg kicks out, it fires, it smacks the bag, it snaps back in, you finish your rotation and you land. And he said, did you see it? And I lied. He says, okay, let's try it. He holds his bag up there because, I'm 230 pounds and he's a big man too, but when I land a good move on this guy, he feels it. So he's like getting ready for something amazing. And I tell you, something very unamazing happened. I launched myself off the ground. I didn't even make it halfway rotation before I was on the ground. And he just looks at me, he says, you didn't see it, did you? And then something amazing did happen. Sat me down, went really slow, step by step, like a master, and caused me to visualize it until I could see it. Then I stood, and he asked me to perform the move. And while it may not have been the most beautiful move, I launched myself off the ground, I rotated, I hit that bag with force, finished my rotation, and landed, and I had done it. I thought, man, this is amazing. Oh, I'll prove it right now. There is something else that he did that started to defy my beliefs. As I would start progressing with testing, he'd say, okay, you have to start breaking things. And I started thinking to myself, with my arm? That's wood. That's an inch of solid pine. And it took me 2.5 years and training. And if I were to break down the move of how you actually break through a board with your hand, there's all sorts of movements and chi and inertia happening inside of the body to actually break this. I actually want to break this down. I need someone to hold the board for me. Tracy, would you come up here and help me hold the board? Guys, give it up for Tracy Roberts. How many of you would like to see me break this? Yeah. That's some pressure. All right, so let's talk about what's actually happening here in the body. With Taekwondo, there's a stance where you center yourself. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to break this board more with my breath than my brute strength force. Because in Taekwondo, it's all about speed and focus. Speed and focus produces a snap. In other words, it's not this haymaker. It's actually very different. It's the ability to strike and you pull that punch. And how many of you have ever taken a towel and whipped it up and does that hurt? Yeah. It's not being hit, it's the retraction of the whip that inflicts the pain. And so everything in Taekwondo, no matter what you're doing, is about the retraction. It's not how fast you can hit, it's how fast you can pull away after the hit that creates this snapping motion. For their motto, one move is sufficient for victory. So you're in this stance, you're breathing calmly, your body is relaxed, and in the hips, there's so much hip work happening here where there's this retraction to the hips here, and they're going to force themselves forward with the hand right here. Now, where do you think the target is? Tracy's chest. This is the target. The board is not really here. This board, by the way, this really isn't a board. Get under a microscope. What is this? This is molecules. And all I'm going to do is cause the molecules to separate. Because what I'm really doing here is I'm going to strike Tracy's chest. That make sense? All right. Should we grab one board or two boards? 5 boards. I like you guys a lot. All right. You feel the breathing right here? And in Taekwondo, you do something called a ki-up. What is a ki-up? Deep breathing with an expression of the air quickly leaving your body. It sounds like this. Aye! Aye! And that is forced oxygen. And so right now, I'm going to breathe right through this break right here. Aye! Now, if my instructor were here, he would say that you got to sign up for a 3-year journey to learn how to break things. I'm looking for 3 volunteers that would like to learn it in minutes. Get back to your seats, get back to your seat. I know you're excited. Tracy, you go ahead and stay up with me here for a second. There are 3 individuals that I'm particularly looking for because some of you think that what we're actually doing is breaking boards and separating molecules. But that, in fact, is not what we're doing. This is a metaphor, if you will allow it to be, for what we call a high-impact experience. You see, to change, we can change through belief breakthrough work, and we can reinforce it through what is called an impact experience. Everyone say impact experience. Impact experience. Okay, when you walk on fire, this is an impact experience. How many of you have walked on fire with me? Walked on glass, broken arrows on your throat, money bath? The 3-day Limitless experience is 3 days of what we call a what? An impact experience. Right now, we're going to give some of you an opportunity to actually have an impact experience. Impact experience can almost assuredly guarantee change. But the change that you want depends what we are anchoring it to. So I'm actually looking not for the 3 warriors in the room, the 3 bravest, or the 3 that's like, it's so cool to break stuff. I'm actually looking for 3 very different people. I'm looking for 3 individuals that want to have an opportunity to anchor this to a belief that they want to break through. And in a moment, I'm just going to ground you, and I'm going to look for these 3 people that want to have this breakthrough experience. Because do you know where our limiting beliefs begin in the first place? They begin with impact experiences, right? They're experiences that a child perceives as traumatic. Trauma is a high impact experience. We're going to create a positive impact experience, and that anchors in the new belief in a powerful way. So I'm going to invite you to bear with me right now and close your eyes. Breathing deeply in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I'm going to ask you a question. I want to recall right now to your mind an impact experience that was negative, that has been defining you. Right now, I want to invite you to think of the first memory that comes to mind when you think of that negative experience from childhood, where you decided something about yourself that limits you. Here's this question. What is the number 1 limiting belief from your childhood coming up for you right now that keeps you back, holds you back from your limitless life? And if you have something come up, I want to invite you to put your hand up. Lisa, Tyrone, Sam, will you please come up? Heidi, will you come up as well? And right now I'm going to invite you to go ahead and select one of these boards. And take a pen. That's your board, Heidi. And I'm going to ask for a microphone. And here's what I'd like to ask you. What is the limiting belief that came up for you that is holding you back? And thank you, Tracy.
I am unlovable.
How old were you? First memory that comes up.
3.
And what's happening?
My parents, they didn't love each other. They just did it to do the right thing in society. And I never felt loved from them. And so going out and making friends, I didn't feel loved, and so I had a hard time making friends.
Yeah. And 3-year-olds experiencing a high impact moment like this, they anchor that in so hard. And when you make a decision, good or bad, you take that plant and you water it and you nurture it. And then you look for the fruit, whether the fruit is good or bad. And so when you take on this belief that I'm not lovable, and how did you word it?
I am unlovable.
When you try that on, it is impossible for you to do anything else other than go through life and look for experiences that can prove that you're unlovable. All because of a choice. And you know, we're not wired to go back and look at the bad choices and do them again. How old are you?
33.
As 33, you can carry this with you for 3 decades. And you'll carry with you for 3 more decades. And you will take it to your deathbed. But right now, you've got an opportunity to change your future by addressing the past. Are you willing?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to write down on that board right there your limiting belief on one side. Sam, belief that's coming up for you.
I have all the talent that I need, but I'm not dependable enough to play in the big leagues.
How's that affecting you right now in your life?
Huge. I mean, I've been working with you on it. I'm sabotaging opportunities to really show up and to really be able to offer my talents at a greater level to everyone.
Okay, awesome. Write that down. Hello, Mommy. You just did something awesome. You made a baby. And when did you give birth?
A month ago yesterday.
Wow. How many of you want to see new Mommy break board? Okay. I love the way you play because you play so bigly. So what's the limiting belief that came up for you?
That I'm not wanted. That where the fun is, I can't come.
Wow.
I don't have what it takes.
Yeah. First memory that comes up for you when you have this thought?
2nd grade, we moved to a small town in Orderville. And there's 10 other girls in the class, and none of them wanted to be my friend. And I knew something funny one day, and then the next day they had already heard it. And so, you're alone.
Yeah. And we are so incredibly powerful that we have the ability to anchor in these moments and we tie them to a decision. And is this decision serving you?
No.
How is it impacting you today?
I lost my wedding ring and I can't find it. And I learned about manifesting things that you want. And I want a lot of things. And we started a business and learning to accept the idea of limitless, that I am limitless and that all of us can be, and that I have a purpose to be a teacher, to tell people in my own way that they can remember and feel that they are limitless too. And we're so close. I can see it, but there's stuff in the way.
Yeah, it's you. So be thinking right now about your turnarounds, because we're going to write them on the other side.
My limiting belief is I am powerless. Because I'm small in stature, and also when I was young, I tried to do something right, it was wrong, and I didn't feel like I had control over anything.
You ready to let go of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to invite all of you to go ahead and hold your boards up and show your lies. And I want to ask this question. How many of you can identify with at least one of these statements that they've come up with? I am powerful, I am powerless, I am unlovable, I have all the talent, but I'm not dependable, I'm not wanted. How many of you can identify? Put your hand up for just a minute. Wow, just look around. We're all unique and different, but it's amazing how this is one thing we share. I'm going to invite you to share something with them right now. Let's go ahead and turn this around on the other side. Instead of this idea that this 3-year-old, mommy and daddy not loving each other and deciding they did it for all the reasons and looking for proof I'm not lovable, what would be words of life instead of words of death?
I am love.
Wow.
I am loved and I am lovable forever.
Wow, I would write all of those down. Powerful, wonderful. Give it up for him. That is beautiful.
I show up for myself unconditionally, and I'm dependable in all my commitments.
Wow.
I have half of it, but I might need some help.
You guys willing to help? Yeah. Awesome. Go ahead, get started.
I am just what is needed for where I am.
It's a great start. How about this one? I'm not wanted. What do you guys got? You got some ideas? I am wanted. I am needed. I show up for myself. People want to play with me.
Thanks, buddy.
I have a mission and purpose that only I can fulfill. I love myself. I can bring the fun with me. I have what it takes. I attract people that love me and accept me. I am worthy. Do you want to try some of those on? Go ahead and take your pen and... Now you've got a really challenging one. I am powerless. How do we turn this around? What do you got, Heidi?
I am powerful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how small I am. I play big.
I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and write that down on your board. Go ahead and put that down. We're going to put that on the reverse side. And when you have your board down, I'm going to invite you to just go ahead and put it down actually right here on the stage. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you up here onto the stage. Friends, please help me welcome them on up here. All right, what I want to do right now is I want to give you some instruction, because the concept of breaking a board, it is not just this idea of force or just this idea of martial arts training, because frankly, some of you may actually try to break the board and you may not succeed. But we're going to be up here with you until you do. You guys willing to support them that way? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So when your board is done, Heidi, go ahead and just set it on the stage and come on up here. There's a couple of things I'm going to invite you to do with your beliefs here. Here's the first one. I can do this. I can break boards with my palm. Go ahead and say it.
I can do this. I can break boards with my palm.
I got news for you. If you don't believe you can do it, you're going to pull your punch, you're going to hold back, or you're not going to listen to instruction, you are going to sabotage yourself, and you're going to have a real difficult time breaking that board. See, it's going to start with this belief, I can break boards. Say it.
I can break boards.
Now say it and mean it.
I can break boards.
Aren't you a warrior, Heidi?
Yes.
I'm powerful.
Yes, I'm a warrior.
So let's hear it. I can break boards.
I can break boards.
I like that. Lisa,
I can break boards.
go ahead. Tyrone.
I can break boards.
Samuel.
I can break boards.
I like that. Very good. All right, here's the next one. You've got to believe that you can cause the molecules to come apart. This is not a board. All we're doing is you're going to move through the board. I cause the molecules to come apart. Say it.
I cause the molecules to
I cause the molecules to come apart.
Can you say it with them? Here's the next one. This game here is not about strength. This is about speed, quickness, and focus. So it is not how strong you are. Do you remember what I talked about with that snap? So here's the speed and the quickness. All of you try that right now. Try that motion of take your hand, and I want you to go ahead and just thrust it out there. Fast. Now pull it back as soon as you hit that. As soon as you get it out there, retract. Retract. Put that out there. Okay, this is a game of speed and quickness and focus. Now we're going to talk about the physiology, and then we're going to end with what I want you to actually be focusing on. Will you hold this for me? Thank you. Okay, so here's what I want you to do with your stance. I want you to be facing forward, and I'm going to ask you to put your feet on a slight diagonal right here. I should be able to go ahead and just run a board right between your legs. Perfect, perfect. Go ahead and scoot this out just a little bit. And are you left-handed? No. You're okay, perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and just have you kick this leg out just a little bit right there. Perfect. This is a good, strong, centered stance right here. Then here's the next thing I want you to do. Go ahead and get your fists up right here. Go ahead and put them up. Now this is what we're striking with right here. This is the palm. Do you see that right here? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take our hips and we're going to pull back. We're going to pull that hip back like we're cocking a gun. And when we go, here's what's going to, our hips are going to lead this motion. So right now just take your hips with your hands down and go, just whip that hip out. Oh yeah, baby. Whip that hip out. All right? Okay, now watch what we're doing here. I put it out and I'm going to put it back in. Watch, I'm going to whip it and whip it back. Ready? Forward and back. 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 Okay, that's getting our center of gravity. That's getting our body into it. And now here's what we're going to do with our right hand. We're going to go ahead and add the hand. The hip is going to go first. It's going to come forward in slow motion. The hand's coming all the way through as the hip is already pulling me back for the retraction because my hip is going to drive the force. My hip is going to help in the retraction. Now, Lisa, you got to be faster. You got to move that. This is a game of quickness. Quickness. So as soon as it gets out there, it's like if there's a rubber band attached to your fingers right there. It's like, it's like, man, the second I get all the way right here, boom, it just comes smacking all the way back. Okay, excellent. You're doing a fantastic job. What do you guys think? Are they doing a good job? All right. You are now equipped with some basics in training. We've just given you 2.5 years of Taekwondo. They're doing amazing. And you're equipped with a limiting belief, and you're equipped with your turnaround. You are ready for a high impact experience. Here's the third and final thing. Focus. If I am holding the board for you, whose board is this? This is Sam right here. I'm going to hold the board for him like this, and as I hold the board, here's the important thing. There is no board. Who are you striking? My chest. So stand where you are and strike my chest. Okay, get in a little closer so you don't have to take that step right there. Right here. Right here. Right here. Okay, good. Okay, as I hold this up, I'm going to hold this for you right here, and you're going to say, whoa, Chris, that board is way too close. Is it too close? No, because the board isn't even there. All you're doing is causing the molecules to what?
Separate.
You're causing the molecules to separate, so that's all you're going to be doing here. So with this, do you want to go ahead and, let's go ahead and remove this. And now that we're ready, and now that I'm feeling that Sam's ready, we're going to give them each an opportunity to do this. But here's what I want to do. I want to take them through one visualization like my instructor did. And then I'm going to ask you to help me amp up the energy. And we're going to give them an opportunity to break through the filthy lie and choose in with this high impact experience into a brand new notion that they are willing to love and absolutely embrace. So close your eyes. I want you to conjure up in your mind the experience that led to this lie that you've been living, that you are powerless, weak, unloved, unwanted. And right now I want to invite you, as the adult you are today, with all the lifetime experience of knowing how dirty and rotten this lie is, I want you to show up and right now be there with your younger self. And what is the advice that you would give them knowing the fruit of this limitation? The advice that you would give yourself, Sam.
You have the ability to show up on a consistent basis and to show up, let's see here. You have the ability to show up with all your power on a consistent basis.
Yeah, beautiful.
I show up with all my power on a consistent basis.
What's the advice you give this little 3-year-old who's about to make a very damaging decision?
Don't worry about it. Life is beautiful. And just trust yourself, love yourself, be yourself.
Wow. Beautiful. Awesome.
Your power does not come from others, it comes from you. And you are free to live in your power and be you. I am powerful.
Wow.
It's okay what other people choose. You can choose your own happiness. You can choose to have fun. I choose my own happiness.
Wow, give it up for her. Wow. Okay, we're just going to bring in the music here a little bit. Go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to prepare yourself. You're about to face this limit for the very first time. You are going to break through this board. I am standing in front of you. I am holding the board, and you are focusing on me. You are looking me in the eyes. You are not looking at the board. Right now, in your mind's eye, see yourself through your eyes, with your eyes closed. I want you to see that I'm in front of you. I am holding a board, but what you are seeing is me. And as you are looking me directly in the eyes, what I represent is this limitation. And right now in your mind's eye, I want you to see that you strike through that board using the power of your hips. You're thrusting forward. Your palm comes forward. You shatter right through that board. You hit me directly in the chest, but I'm laughing and I'm fine. I'm okay with that, okay? All right, now I'm going to go ahead and ask you to go ahead and elevate the strength in your mind by a factor of 10. You are 10 times more powerful. You are 10 times stronger. You are focused. You are keeping focused, directly looking me in the eyes. I have a new board. It is a bigger board, but you cannot see it because you are the expert at separating molecules. You take your hand, you thrust it forward. It goes absolutely through that board and hits me in the chest, and I laugh because you have just broken through that limitation. And now I want you to see your strength 100 times bigger. And as your strength is 100 times bigger this time, I'm going to ask you to punch through my entire body. And right now, with all of this strength, you take your hand, you are focused, looking me directly in the eyes, using your centered focus, thrusting your hips forward, moving your hand with this incredible whip-like motion. And as you push absolutely through that board, you push through my entire body, and I am laughing because I'm okay. And you are powerful. Friends, are they powerful? Okay, so I'm going to invite you to get on your feet right now. Get on your feet. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Get on up here. This is called a high impact opportunity. This is a chance, Samuel, for you to become no longer anything but dependable. So right now, tell these people, proclaim, who are you? Real loud, let them hear you.
I am powerful and dependable.
Right now, where you're going to hit me? Right in the chest. And where are you looking? You're looking directly at my eyes. Focus, breathe deeply. And I'm going to ask you to add one last thing. Height! Everything pushes through that board. Height! Go ahead and proclaim it. I am dependable.
I am dependable.
They have to figure it out. Go ahead, Tyrone. Grab your board. Come on up here. Okay, Tyrone. For a moment, just close your eyes. Ground yourself in this fact, this feeling. This is a high-impact experience that created this entire lie that you're not lovable. The advice that you showed up to give yourself is that you are loved, that you are loved, that you are lovable for how long? Forever! And you're going to go ahead and put your focus on my eyes. You're going to look at me. You're simply a master at separating molecules. And when you feel ready, you're going to key up, which means you're going to expel that energy powerfully as you push through here with your palm and hit me in the chest. And hold these up and say, I am loved. I am loved! All right, Heidi, get on up here. Grab your board. Guys, give it up for her. And go ahead and read this statement nice and loud. Go ahead and read this statement real loud. What does it say?
I am powerful.
Say it powerfully.
I am powerful, and it doesn't matter my size. I play big.
Focus on me right here. You are powerful. There is no board. You're going to do that key up, that yell. You're going to show it. You're going to be completely open palm. You're going to strike with this part of your hand. You're going to push everything all the way through that board. You are going to hit me where? You're going to hit me in the chest as hard as you possibly can. I represent this. Center yourself, ground. Put everything into this. So look at me. Look at me. Hit me in the chest. Hit me in the chest. Hit me in the chest. Okay. Breathe, center it. All you did was hit right here. So we're just going to move it right more into the center. That's it, okay? Open hands. Open hands. Breathing. You are powerful. And you tell them, who are you? Say, I am powerful. This is who you are. You are powerful. This is your opportunity to rise up. I want you to stay focused right here on my eyes. And right now, this lie that you are breaking through, what is the turnaround? What is more true for you? Go ahead and read this.
I show up for me. I attract people that love me. I am perfect and ready for my mission. I allow myself to play. I love me.
Calm, breathing. You're going to look at me. You're going to put your eyes completely focused on me. You are the master of separating particles. You're going to separate the particles of this board by focusing on my chest. You are here to take your open palm and you're going to thrust it and you're going to hit me right in the chest. Do it right now. Hit me. And now do that retraction. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Now you're ready. Come on! Looking at me, you separate the board. You are powerful. This is your life. Go ahead and find your seats. Go ahead and welcome them. Go ahead and find your seats, Lisa.
Thank you.
You're amazing, honey. Absolutely amazing. Friends, please help me welcome to the front of the stage my partner in Limitless, the amazing facilitator. Some of you know him as Eduardo. This man knows how to produce change. Please help me welcome up Gerald Rogers.
What does it mean to truly be limitless in our life? What would your life look like if you only allowed into your mind the thoughts that allowed you to live in that power? What if you lived in this conscious space so that in your interactions with those around you, your interactions with those you loved, you only spoke those words of life? What would it look like in your business if you truly believed in the limitless power and potential like Jeannie, and just seeing this experience of moving from scarcity to true abundance? Why? Because of a simple shift in the mind, a simple shift of reframing the perspective of how we see ourselves, and the decision to be limitless. What would that look like in terms of your body when you truly treat yourself with that love and respect? Just imagine what your life will be like when you choose to be limitless.
And Gerald, I'll tell you right now that what's going to happen for the people that chose into this opportunity to come up here, Lisa, I'm going to tell you, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and you're going to feel wanted, and you're going to belong, and you're going to have so much more confidence in sharing your mission. You will not look for the validation that others choose you, like those 10 other schoolgirls, to play with you. You will choose to play with them, and regardless of how they show up, you will choose to feel loved, you will choose to feel wanted, and you will be the expression of that gift. That's what awaits you tomorrow morning. Friends, give it up for her. And I'm going to tell you that Sam's going to show up 5 minutes early to the gym tomorrow morning. Aren't you, Sam? I'm going to tell you that Tyrone, watch out for this guy. He's going to be giving away hugs like crazy tonight. This man is love right there. He feels that. He embodies that. It's powerful. And I'm going to say this. I would not mess with Heidi, period. I'm just going to say that right now. I would not mess with Heidi. You see that board, the way she broke that board? Oh, I feared for my life.
So this journey of being limitless it's a journey. It's a space of being on this quest for constant and never-ending improvement. A quest for what?
Constant, never-ending.
There are literally thousands and thousands of these limiting beliefs that have held us hostage in the past. And this journey of being limitless is choosing each day, how often?
Each day.
Each day to confront, to be aware of those limiting beliefs and to break through. That's why for those of you that came to Limitless, you were given this wristband being an opportunity for you to every morning to wake up and to ask, what is the number one limiting belief that's holding me back from my greatness? And to create that shift, create that turnaround, and to realize breakthroughs don't have to be hard. You know, oftentimes we make transformation so difficult. And how many of you have ever been stuck in the belief that says, oh my gosh, I'll never change, change is hard? Anyone ever get stuck there? Right? And we try and we try and we try to create more money or to change our results in our relationship and our body. But fundamentally, what would happen in our life if we simply adopted the belief that change is easy. How many of you like that more? Right? Everyone say it with me. Change is easy.
Change is easy.
Transformation is easy.
Transformation is easy.
Breakthroughs are easy.
Breakthroughs are easy.
And what if it was a simple shift of learning how to master our mind and learning how to master ourselves so that we just chose to be limitless? Because this is who we are at the core, right? Yes. We are limitless. And it's these other ideas that we adopted, these lies that have held us hostage, that keep us from truly experiencing that. So my invitation for everyone that's here is to choose to be on this journey, on the what?
Journey.
On this journey of being limitless, of this journey of choosing every day to create breakthroughs, of this journey that says, you know, I've made a lot of progress in the past, but I'm just at the beginning, and I'm so excited for where this leads.
Now I want to ask a question. How many of you would like to have the experience of a private, custom, one-on-one breakthrough session for free at no cost? Right? Because, Tyler, you think it's going to be powerful? Yes. Heidi, is it going to be life-changing? Lisa, is it going to be worth it? Yes. Yeah, it absolutely is. So we have a couple of opportunities that we'd like to present with you tonight. Here's the first one. We have November 12th, 13th, and 14th, our next 3-day Limitless experience. And if you have not been to Limitless, friends, for those of you that have, do they need to be there? Yeah! Okay. For those of you that went, knowing that we're constantly changing it up, adding new breakthroughs, do you want to come back? Yeah! So here would be my advice. Those days, 12th, 13th, and 14th, clear your schedule, take the time off, and give yourself a powerful gift to meet yourself all over again as a more powerful version that is really much more true to who you actually are. At that event, we have our angels on standby that do these one-on-one breakthrough sessions with every single person that wants them. That's just an added benefit and bonus that we give to everyone that comes to that event. Now, normally to attend the 3-day Limitless event, it's $499. If you go to the website right now, it's limitlessseminar.com. It's $499 to attend. Tonight, because this is our special monthly tribe night, we have a very special offer. And we have these order forms that will tell you that you can actually attend for a very surprising rate of how much? $69. I just want to ask you right now, are you worth a one-time payment of $69? If you don't, we're going to have you break a board. You are worth it. You absolutely are. Help us cover some of the basic costs of putting on an amazing event. And you had a chance to hear from some people. It is a high-impact experience that is designed to help you confront the limitations that hold you back and to allow you to turn them around so that the next morning you can wake up as the much more beautiful, powerful version of you. So I want to, as our first invitation, I want to invite you to come in November. The next one after that is in January, but November 12th, 13th, and 14th, it is going to be a very powerful and very unforgettable event.
So we'd actually love to have some of you that came to this last Limitless or the one before that just share a really quick testimonial. Who had a powerful experience that would like to share? Let's go back here. Taylor, is that right? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and stand up, and Tyler too. All right. What's your name?
I'm Taylor.
Hey, Taylor!
So I went to Limitless this past weekend. I'm Oracle to the max. I'm a mathematician. I have a couple of college degrees in that subject. I'm trained to doubt, trained to be skeptical. And so I go to this event because my aunt told me I had to, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll go. And it started out the first 2 days, I didn't believe it. I was like, this feel good, clap your hands, feel good pump up thing. And so for a couple days I was like, it's fun, it's positive, it's fun, happy, cool people. And on the third day, I really did have a powerful breakthrough experience that I didn't believe I could because I'm doubtful and skeptical and prove it. Well, we proved it. I proved it to myself. Like, this is a real experience. And if you're doubtful, well, I was too. And I've still got doubts and reservations about a lot of things in life, but I know that what they're doing is real.
Thank you. Let's come up here for Tyler.
Awesome.
Who are you?
I'm Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, guys. Just curious, how many have not been to the Limitless yet? Awesome. Okay. So for those of you, I went to the very first one, and I learned how to do the breakthrough process. And went home. I've been doing a lot of breakthroughs my whole life and teaching people. And I went home and I was like, wow, this is a lot faster. Like, why not try this one? So I learned from them, and I went back. My wife has been having like hip pain for a long time, and have been doing a lot of stuff physically as a massage therapist and Thai yoga therapy and mentor. And we'd get some results, but it'd come back. And we'd get some results, and it'd come back. And so I did the breakthrough process on her, and within 15 minutes, literally her hip pain that she's been having on and off for years and years and years went away. Completely gone, no more. And so if you're thinking like, should I give it a try, should I not, just decide that it's worth it, that you're worth it. And if 69 is a stretch, then you really need to come. Because if that's a stretch, you gotta shift your mindset to start thinking abundant and limitless. So just make that decision and decide that it's worth it, that you're worth it, that your family's worth it, that the experience is worth it. And I promise you that as you consciously make this choice, it's gonna be one of the best decisions of your life.
Awesome. Let's go back there.
Okay, just 60 seconds. Thanks, Paul.
All right, so what's your
I know
name?
I shared. My name is Paul.
Hey, Paul!
Hi, everyone. Hey, welcome back, Jane. Missed you in the gym this morning. Hey, I just want to share real quick. Last week, I came to the one day of Limitless, got to come for the best part, the money bath, but I actually spent a week with a bunch of warriors. These guys are guys that have been dealing with PTSD and are in a very dark place in their lives. In fact, 3 of the guys that were there have already attempted suicide. And this warrior camp that we were at, without asking for Chris's approval, but I knew he'd probably be okay with me trying to use some of the breakthroughs and limit or talk to some of these guys. One of the main guys that we had there actually had to have his service animal with him. And at the beginning of the week, he didn't believe in the word love. He's a former Ranger. He's seen some deep crap in his career in the military. And he didn't believe in the word love at all. And I did a little bit of a limitless breakthrough with the whole group, with all the horses around us. And I gave him a hug, the type of hug where you actually lock up hearts. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And we had to force ourselves to hug for 20 seconds, which I guarantee it was difficult for some of these guys. And after I released him, I said, "I love you, Matt." And he said, "No, you don't." And I said, "Yeah, I do." He says, "How can you say that?" And I says, "Because I do. And I'll prove it to you by the end of this week. I'll have you fixed." And by the end of the week, he actually came up to us and he said, "I don't need my service dog anymore. I've got enough tools in my tool belt to know who I really am." And that was his big breakthrough. He now believes in the word love again, and he's ready to go conquer the world.
What's your name?
My name is Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie!
And I have to give a shout out for Sadie, who I really hope is online tonight. Her life was saved Monday night because of these 2 gentlemen, and she's never even met them. I got an email from her. She'd found me online. I have a bully-proofing you book, and she explained to me that she was done. She was tired. She was 19 years old, and she didn't want to live anymore. And, she just hoped someone from my team or me would answer the email. I immediately replied back to her and said, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are valuable, you are needed, and many other things. And then this morning at 4 o'clock, I got up and I sent another email with an invite to this online. I said, I don't know where you live, but you've got to be online. And this morning at 8 o'clock, I got just an incredible email that said, thank you, thank you, thank you. My life has changed, and I will definitely be on tonight. So Sadie, I love you, girl.
I love you, Sadie. Thank you. So I'm sure every one of you could share stories and experiences and breakthroughs, and what's really powerful for me is it is a journey of experiencing more joy, and more possibility, more love, right? At the core of Limitless is this ability to connect deeper with ourselves and with others. And it is, how many of you feel like it's very motivational, right? Like it's super motivating and super exciting, but at the end of the day, what it's really about is creating new results. Refining the blueprint that you've been using to create your life in the past and upgrading your operating system to create the life you really want. How many of you are excited about that? And what I love most is seeing people come back to the tribe nights and to the other experiences, and see people like Gary Norris back there, who's, what's the current mark? How much weight have you lost since first? 47 pounds
in 60 days.
47 pounds in 60 days, and he's just beginning his limitless journey there. To see people come back having made more money, to see people coming back having healed relationships or creating new relationships. This is about creating new results. The results that you really want to as you step into consciously designing your masterpiece life.
So it's $499 to attend the event. Some of you in this room may feel too guilty paying $69. So just go online and pay $499. That is okay. For the rest of you, make sure you do have that paper filled out tonight and get that turned in. And then for those of you that are joining us online, there is a way for you, if you would like to go ahead and purchase your ticket at that discount, all you need to do is respond in the chat box, and we will make sure that we give you a code, and we'll get that logged for you at that $69 price.
Yeah. So all of you, especially those that are new, you received this package with this information. So fill this out before you leave, and we're so excited to have you experience what the Limitless journey is all about.
Now, we do have, and we're going to hand out, put your hand up if you don't have one of those papers and you want to fill one out, and you can purchase multiple tickets, so you can be aware of that. Now, we have one more opportunity that I do want to create some awareness of that is a free opportunity for the public. I asked how many of you would like to have a one-on-one breakthrough session. I'm going to give you another opportunity. We're holding a one-time only very special event at my house on November 5th. Now, I live in Orem, right outside the Provo Canyon. This is a special Limitless Breakthrough potluck, okay? It's going to be really fun. It's going to be on Thursday, November 5th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to ask our angels to come and prepare brief keynote presentations, while the rest are actually going to be pulling out the people and doing one-on-ones in different parts of the house that would actually like to have some one-on-one breakthrough. And so that's another opportunity. It will be a fun evening, like this is a fun evening. Get a chance to learn from those that are not just in the program, but they are leaders inside the program, because right now this is growing, it is spreading. This next year it is spreading nationwide. We do need more leaders. So we want to invite you, if it resonates, come to the next event in November. Come to my house. Get a chance to learn more about Limitless. Choose to show up for those 3 days. Have a chance for you. You owe it to yourself to see your life go to a whole new level.
Awesome. And the final opportunity for you is just an invitation to really plug in and be part of this tribe. To really look around this room and understand that these are people who think like you, who want to grow with you, that are pursuing their dreams. How many of you, just by a show of hands, know you're way more likely to achieve your dreams and goals when you're surrounded by other like-minded people? All right, everyone, hold your hands high, hold them high, and look around right now. And everyone say, this is my tribe.
This is my tribe.
And what would be possible in your life when you surround yourself with these like-minded people who believe in you, who support you? And so part of our mission in spreading the Limitless message and empowering people to live their dream life is we've created an online social media group on Facebook where you can go and share your breakthroughs and connect and interact with each other, share your goals. And it's a place where also, if you're breaking down, if you need support, where you can reach out and say, hey, can anyone support me with a breakthrough? So if you haven't joined that Facebook group yet, please do that. Connect with whoever invited you here to plug into that. Once again, that is something that we offer for free. And then these tribe nights are also another opportunity for you to plug in, reconnect. And once again, this is our gift to you. How many of you have experienced value tonight? Awesome. So our invitation is for you to plan on being here every single month. So the next one, get out your phones right now so you can mark this down on your calendar so you have this planned. The next one is November 18th. November 18th, same place. And we'll be setting up a page where you can register for that at limitlesstribe.org/events. We'll be updating that tonight so that you can register for that. And how many of you know other people that you would love to have be here and share that with, right? So invite them, bring them. This is our opportunity to really serve and empower as many people as possible. And then the final gift that we have as part of being in the Limitless Tribe is every single week, Chris and I and the angels, we put on these weekly breakthrough coaching calls. This is no charge, just an opportunity for you to connect with your tribe. Every Monday morning at 10 o'clock, just think of it, this is your opportunity to fill up your car, to fill up your mind with all the energy you need so you can drive through the week as empowered as possible. So once again, that information is posted, and we'll send out emails to you so that you can plug that in. But make sure on your calendar you just plan on plugging in and joining the tribe every Monday morning.
Now, friends, when we wrap things up right now, what I'd like to do is I would like to end with one of our traditions that we enjoy around here. Tonight, we've had individuals, you in the audience, create some beautiful breakthroughs, but suggest far more powerful words than some of us live by. And so I'm going to have Carson actually cue up our manifesto music in just a second here. I'm going to invite you to get on your feet right now, come stand up with me, and all I'm going to do is share some of the words that we got a chance to hear tonight from those of you here in the audience. And I want to give you an opportunity to own them with the same type of power that they did when they broke through that board. Yeah. And we call this, go ahead.
This is the Limitless Manifesto. And one of the traditions that we experience at Limitless is we have this Limitless salute. So at the end of the thing, we'll all raise our fingers to the air, and this represents that we're one tribe, we're connected. It's this unity. It's this declaration that says, I'm committed to my life and that we are one. So at the end of the declaration, you'll notice we all do that, and we want you to feel free to join along if you want.
All right, so we've got, we're going to take the Limitless Manifesto. We're going to actually put it here on the screen here. We're going to fire up the music, and we're going to get a chance to say this together and give this a try. Ready? I am Limitless Conscious Creator. I am responsible for my results and choose to create a life that I love. I have a clear vision of who I am and where I am headed. I live with limitless power. I am unconditional and live in integrity with my divine nature. I actively invest time, energy, and money to grow and become a better version of myself. I work and live in alignment with my higher self and sacred purpose. I create limitless connection. I experience perfect bliss with my family and loved ones. I practice unconditional love for myself and others. I surround myself with my tribe that supports me in my dreams. I create. I am powerful. I am inspired. I love my life, and I am limitless. Yes, you are. Powerful and limitless. That is our birthright. We have an opportunity, every one of us, to step out of the limits that hold us back and step into a world with possibility that lies at the fingertips of the privilege that we've all been given. You truly are limitless. Friends, I am limitless! I am limitless!
Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Limitless.
Thank you.
And make sure before you leave, you give away at least 10 gifts in the form of hugs. And thank you everyone for joining us online. We'll see you next time.